School to prison pipeline. When you think of that, what do you think of? What does that make you think of? Prison to school pipeline. Ponder over those words. Prison to school pipeline. To me, that sounds like I'm creating a tunnel for my schools to leave my classroom and go to prison instead of going out to be people of the community and people in society. It's like I'm teaching them and I'm preparing to send them from my classroom to the prison. And that is not the job of a teacher. That is not what we have been set up to do. We have not been set up to teach our students to go from our classrooms to prison. It is our job to send our students from our classrooms to be successful people in society, to grow up to be successful women and men, not to go from school to prison. Our students need something to look forward to besides going to prison. They need to look forward to being model day citizens, being able to go into college, going to jobs, being able to flourish in the community, not going from school to prison. That is not the job of students. Students need to see us as the people who are trying to motivate them to send them elsewhere. Elias stated it best, prison to school pipeline. He says those are policies that have been put into place, policies that are put in place to have police inside of the buildings of schools. And it's like all, but to me, it's like a scare tactic. It's like we as educators or administrators don't think that we can do the job of disciplining our students daily. It's like we need to bring in a backup force to help us to police students. I teach third grade. And in my opinion, and all the years I've been teaching, I've not been teaching 5 years, I've never seen the need of having an actual officer inside of the building as a disciplinarian. I understand having an officer inside of the school building for the safety of the teachers, the students, and the admin team, but not there as a backup force or the person of discipline. Schools have become so conditioned that they want to have a scare tactic, like to have something like that, just scare the students to act right. I think the students need the teacher or that should be the person who make you act right, not needing a cop to come in and make students behave. That's already giving them prison mentality or prison mindset. Students should not need to see an actual police officer, the person who should be out on the street fighting crimes in the school building now fighting crimes. How does that sound? As a child, how would you feel? When I see this picture here, I think of them as my third graders. I think of them sitting there eating their lunch, and then you look over and you see them, oh, they now have on prison jumpsuits. That's right there, school to prison pipeline. We're preparing them to go to prison. We've now taken ourselves and admitted the teachers. It's like we've taken stuff from ourselves, like we don't think that we can actually be the person to do discipline. And I'm speaking for myself. I can discipline a class of third graders. I don't need an officer to come in and discipline my third graders. I don't need that. I need them out there fighting crime on the streets, not fighting crime inside of the school system. I don't think nothing that bad or terrible could happen in a K through 5 classroom or a K through 5 school. At a high school or middle school level, yes, then maybe so. But at that point, I still need to have a whole bunch of officers in the school system. This here is my school. If you look to the left and look to the right of you, if you zoom in closely, we have officer cars parked at both doors of the school. And I think that's where they should stay at, not coming out and coming inside of the building. They need to stay in their cars fighting crime out the door. I don't think they need to come inside the building and fight crime inside of the building. I think admin team, principals, teachers, counselors, I think that's our job to fight crime inside of the building. We don't need an officer in the building fighting crime. Think about your child. You want your child to see someone who has a gun, taser, handcuffs? You want your kids coming, seeing all that stuff? No, you don't want that. You want to see officer as a person who they can go to for help, not a person coming in to discipline them. We want to keep that kind of fear out of our children. But having those officers in the school is a scare tactic for those students. It's like we're trying to scare them to be good. And I don't think that's right. We need to scare no child to be good. I can recall for myself in my school, I've seen several times when a teacher's pressed the black button for an admin to come in to assist them. And instead of the principal coming, he sends the officer. Why do a third or fourth or a fifth grade need to see an officer come in to get on to them for misbehaving? Why should minor infractions need to have an officer call for a student? I don't see a child cutting up in class or a child not raising their hand and getting the officer coming for that. Those are minor infractions to me. That don't need a police officer. But at our school system now, that's what they've resorted to. They've started calling officers for minor infractions for our students. And I don't think that's right. That's not right. We don't need that. We need to give the classroom back to the teachers and to the administration team. We don't need an officer coming inside of the building, policing and harassing and scaring our students. They should be out there fighting crime on the streets, not fighting crime in the classrooms.